Welcome to Literature Lens. In this video, we'll dive into Arthur Conan Doyle's novel, A Scandal in Bohemia, a Sherlock Holmes story. In the bustling streets of London, at 2121B Baker Street, Sherlock Holmes, the world's greatest detective, sat in his apartment, smoking his pipe and deep in thought. One evening, his old friend, Dr. Watson, came to visit. Little did they know, a case was about to walk through the door that would change how Holmes saw the world forever. A mysterious man arrived, heavily disguised, but Holmes, with his sharp mind, quickly saw through it. The visitor was none other than the King of Bohemia, a powerful ruler with a big problem. He explained that years ago, he had fallen in love with a beautiful opera singer named Irene Adler. But now he was engaged to marry a princess, and he needed to keep his past a secret. The problem? Irene had a photograph of them together that could ruin his reputation and his marriage. The king begged Holmes to help him get the photograph back, and Holmes, always up for a challenge, agreed. He quickly set to work, gathering information about Irene Adler. She was clever, independent, and very private, making the task ahead even more difficult. Holmes knew that brute force wouldn't work, so he needed to come up with a cunning plan. Holmes disguised himself as a humble clergyman and staged a scene outside Irene's house. He pretended to be injured in a scuffle, knowing that Irene's kind heart would lead her to help him. As he was carried inside her home, Holmes kept his eyes open, watching every move. His plan worked. When Irene thought she was alone, she rushed to a secret compartment to check on the photograph, revealing its hiding place to Holmes. The next morning, Holmes, the king, and Dr. Watson went to Irene's house, confident they would retrieve the photograph. But when they arrived, they found the house empty. Irene Adler had outsmarted them all. She left a letter explaining everything. She had recognized Holmes during his staged accident and realized his true intentions. Knowing she couldn't outfight him, she had chosen to flee with her new husband, taking the photograph with her. But she assured the king that she would never use the photo against him. She was happily married and had no interest in causing trouble. The king was relieved, but also surprised that a woman could outwit the great Sherlock Holmes. He offered Holmes a valuable ring as a reward, but Holmes only asked for one thing: a photograph of Irene Adler. He didn't win the case as he usually did, but he gained something more: a deep respect for a woman who had beaten him at his own game. From that day forward, Sherlock Holmes always referred to Irene Adler as the woman, the one who got away.